Good day, everyone. I hope you are all well. Before I start this session, I would just like to apologize for being a little late to the party today. And actually, I had a busy weekend and I couldn't prepare a story on time. That is to say, yesterday, but I am here now. And today's story is a suggested story by my dear friend Kiki Ayang, who is currently in the US. And the story is The Umbrella Man by Roald Dahl. So, before I start the story, let's have a little bit of a discussion about Roald Dahl. I'm pretty sure you're familiar with his name because he's quite acclaimed and he has written three fantastic books for children, which are Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, Matilda, and The Witches. Charlie and the Chocolate Factory has already been adapted into a movie starring Johnny Depp, directed by Tim Burton. So, if you haven't seen it, I definitely recommend you give it a look. And of course, we cannot talk about Roald Dahl without talking about Matilda, which was phenomenal, and I enjoyed both the movie as well as the book when I read it. And The Witches is, I believe, being adapted into a movie as we speak. So it should come out sometime soon. Or maybe it has already come out. I will do some research and I will let you guys know. So let's plunge into The Umbrella Man by Roald Dahl. It is raining cats and dogs and bricks and buildings, so to speak. And we see a young girl and her mother uh, exiting a shop and walking in the rain, desperate to find a taxi. However, no such taxi is available because everyone is fleeing for their lives in the downpour and every taxi is occupied. So these two are reasonably well off. They are wearing expensive clothes and they are basically getting soaked and they are waiting for a taxi. When suddenly this old gentleman comes up in a Macintosh and a hat and he says, "Madam, I need some help." "Hmm, believe me, it is not my habit to stop uh, an unknown stranger, especially a lady, on the street, and it is not my habit to ask her for help. Now, our protagonist is thinking that my mother is really snooty. She's going to, have a few words with this guy. And that is exactly what happens. She tells him, "I should hope not, sir. I should hope this is not your habit." Then he says, "Madam, I require a pound as taxi fare to go home. I am old. Every day of the year, I take a walk. I go for a long walk and I take a taxi home to my place. Now, I know it's odd, but I do have an umbrella, and it is a silk umbrella that cost me £20 when I purchased it. And I will gladly give it to you for just a pound if you could see your way to helping." So our protagonist's mother gives him a bit of a dirty look, but then she is getting soaked and she ultimately accepts the offer and says, "Okay, here is a pound and I will gladly take the umbrella from you. We need the umbrella." Here is where the story takes on an interesting twist because our protagonist has kept her eyes on the umbrella man and sees that he is making a dash for the other side of the street and he reaches the footpath in record time, which is odd because wasn't he an old man and wasn't he tired? So our protagonist points this out to her mother that he's going great guns, which is unusual. So her mother says, "Okay, something is up. I'm going to find out what." And they follow him. And believe you me, my dear listeners, they have a tough time following him because he's really walking fast. And that is when we realize that definitely there is something fishy about this whole thing. So he takes a left and then he takes a right from the next curb. And then our protagonist loses sight of him. And throughout this thrilling chase, he has been walking so fast that these two women have to run to keep up with him. So the mother says that I saw him go into that building. Let's find out what it is. So she and the daughter find the building and they see that the building is basically a pub. So the daughter says, "Do we go inside, mummy?" She says, "No, you're too young to go into a pub. We'll watch from outside. There's a big window. We'll be able to see what he does." Our umbrella man, meanwhile, has entered the pub and he has taken off his coat and hat. He has gone up to the barkeep and he has ordered a drink. The barkeep gives him a whiskey and he pays for the whiskey with the pound note that he has got from our protagonist's mother. He then proceeds to down the whiskey, which is not number one, expensive, and number two, probably a triple one. He downs the whiskey in one go. Then he licks his moustache in satisfaction with a Cheshire cat like grin on his face. And he then gets up. Meanwhile, our protagonist's mother is having a fit. She's like, "Okay, so that's his game. Cool." But the really mind boggling part is what comes just after this. Our umbrella man gets up, walks to the cloakroom, takes out his coat, puts on his hat, calmly picks up an expensive looking umbrella from the umbrella stand, and leaves the pub. Once he has left the pub, he doesn't even look at the two women outside. He takes a smart left and walks off into the night. So you see, this is his game. The umbrella man uh, goes for a walk, goes into a pub, buys a drink, has the drink, steals an umbrella, walks out into the rain, offers the umbrella to buy, and then walks off into a different pub where his face is not known. And he repeats this ad infinitum. The protagonist and her mother follow him again. They see that he has accosted another gentleman who is not wearing a coat but a hat. And again, this gentleman is getting soaked. So again, a pound note exchanges hands, an umbrella exchanges hands, and our umbrella man is off to another pub. The last line of the story reads, "I don't know what god he believes in, but he must really pray for rainy days." Having delivered this sarcastic comment, the story closes. So that was it, The Umbrella Man by Roald Dahl, suggested by my friend Kiki Ayang, who is currently in America. I hope you enjoyed it. My apologies again that it's late. And if you would like to suggest a story like Kiki did, please let me know what you would like to hear in the comments below. You can also get in touch with me via my blog where this story will be posted. And until next week, I hope you stay safe. I hope you are blessed. And I hope that these stories have given you a little bit of entertainment. Take care of yourselves. This is the Bills Master signing off. Until next week.